Time now for news from the left. Nancy Pelosi has a theory about our upcoming elections.
With this president and these Republicans who have no commitment to the rule of law and doing things the appropriate way, we have to be on guard as to what they may try to do to the technology. They may try to creep into the technology and create a false count.
Remember when talking like this was a threat to democracy? Just even insinuating anything could be wrong with an election potentially was a threat to democracy. And how much is old Nancy projecting here? A message from the party of housing project vote harvesting, rampant mail-in, and left-wing NGO ballot box stuffing. And they're worried about the integrity of the next election. The people that refuse to, I mean, they will fight to the death to prevent us from what? Asking for ID and citizenship in elections? Even though every other first world country does that, they will fight to the death to prevent that. And she's worried about the integrity of the next election. Good old Nancy. Next up, a look at the kind of content ABC is feeding housewives in this country every day. Take a listen.
I think it's time for men to see what women have always known, which is that men hate us. You know, and it's not just young men. You know, I think there's a lot of ways that, it's more insidious when men get older and still hate women in different ways, you know, whether it's doctors and psychiatrists who are finding new ways to dismiss our symptoms, to call us crazy. Every time I go in to just talk about my feelings, I got diagnosed with ADD and OCD, and I don't have either. You're boring and I'm busy.
Let's bring on a chick that needs 30 pills to survive every day to talk about men on The View. That's a great idea. And by the way, men don't hate all women. They all hate you, anyone that's met you, because you're just a really, really obnoxious person. This is what The View is now, though. I mean, think about what this show has become, what it started as versus what it's become. It's a terrible show. And again, ABC. This is federally regulated broadcast networks. This is the crap they put on television now. Next up, props to CNN with an interesting interview with Sandro Castro, the grandson of Cuba's late dictator, Fidel Castro. CNN going into Havana. Very interesting, an incredible moment when the young Castro says that the people of Cuba would now certainly prefer capitalism over the last 70 years of communism.
We actually would welcome, he says, speaking for himself, a deal with Donald Trump. What would your grandfather, Fidel Castro, say that you're more capitalist than communist?
My grandfather was a person who had his principles like everyone else, but he also respected others' opinions. There are many people in Cuba that think in a capitalistic way. There are many people here who want to have capitalism with sovereignty.
Props for admitting that the people of Cuba want capitalism because nobody else in that regime will. He's a little off on Grandpa, though. Grandpa killed people if they didn't agree with him ideologically. That's kind of how this all got started. And finally, the most visible people to ever walk the planet needed a day of visibility, and today was that day. It's International Transgender Day of Visibility, so you can see them all over the world if you look hard enough. Activist Rachel Crandall Crocker, a man, licensed male psychotherapist, dressed as a woman, founder of Transgender Michigan, is the founder and organizer of the Holy Day to Spread Trans Joy. Yes, this person is a psychotherapist. Not sure I would be calling him first. Democrats love this stuff, of course, Transgender Visibility Day, including our Islamist, pro-trans, communist Mayor Mamdani. Love to see him take some of this nonsense with him to a Islamic country, by the way. Mikey Sherrill in New Jersey, everybody pandering to the LGBTQ movement's most elite group of victims, the trans people.
Happy Trans Day of Visibility to the trans community in Seattle and across the country.
For too many trans people, we still see discrimination and policies that threaten their safety and dignity.
And across the country, we are seeing growing attacks on transgender people's rights, their safety and dignity.
And I will always, always stand with you.
And I am truly proud to stand with you now and forever, our trans community.
Isn't that sweet? Gotta be nice. And who can forget just 2 years ago, of course, former President Joe Biden proclaiming that Easter Sunday was also going to be Transgender Day of Visibility. Yes, they put it on Easter a couple of years ago. And then they put a topless dude with plastic boobs on the White House lawn. in a picture that we will never forget.
You know, everybody's reporting the same stories, the same spin. You turn the channel, it's always the same. But not us. We're different. We report the real news. No spin, just the facts. Turn to us, and you won't turn back.
Tune in to Rob Schmitt tonight on Newsmax.